There are on average 38 school fires each week, with 40 each year, resulting in more than £5 million worth of damage to a school. Although deliberate fires are more prevalent in certain areas of the UK, it is believed that around 75% of all fires in schools are started deliberately. A third of these fires occur during normal school hours. Frequently, attacks on schools are carried out by a pupil, an ex-pupil, or a relative. Most fire setters are aged between 10 and 18 and live in the local area. Premises may be targeted deliberately or just because they offer easy access. Many fire attacks are opportunist, so undertaking a few simple low-cost actions can help to reduce the vulnerability of a school to deliberate fires. Therefore, the first step is to ensure that any perimeter fencing is well maintained. Particular attention should be paid to vulnerable spots, or areas that provide easy, unauthorized access to the school grounds. Next step is to try to prevent any unauthorized entry into the buildings themselves. Out of hours, always ensure that all doors and windows are secure. Combustible displays or storage should not be left on the internal windowsills of ground floor rooms. Be aware that often potential fire setters may deliberately try to leave doors or windows open for later access. Deny access to roofs. Skylights are weak points unless fitted with internal bars or grills. Try to avoid having concealed or shaded external areas where intruders can work unobserved. Exterior security lighting is a cost-effective deterrent. Visible surveillance cameras may also help to discourage potential offenders. Whenever the school is unoccupied, any automatic fire detection and alarm systems should, where possible, be monitored by a remote monitoring service to ensure that any alarm is raised quickly. Attackers seldom bring combustible items with them. Instead, they tend to use what is available on site. So, wherever possible, all combustible waste should be removed or securely stored. Waste bins and wheelie bins should be located well away from the buildings, preferably in locked compounds. Skips used for any purpose should again be located well away from buildings. Stores in and around the school that contain combustible materials, chemicals or other hazardous substances should always be kept locked. Cloakrooms, locker rooms, general storage areas and rooms for ground staff equipment are all potential targets for fire setters. During school hours, entrance to the school should be limited and controlled. Each school should have a security policy that should prevent unauthorized access wherever possible. Staff have to be vigilant and should challenge or report any person that they are unsure of. Pupils should also be encouraged to inform staff of any strangers or suspicious activity. Signing all visitors in and out is an important part of any security policy. It also ensures that in the case of an emergency, everyone can be accounted for. Unfortunately, there is often a conflict between easy fire evacuation and the security of pupils, staff and premises. However, locked security doors should never compromise people's ability to use the escape routes. Please remember, major fires due to deliberate fire setting are often preceded by general vandalism or smaller fires. Therefore, be suspicious of any small accidental fires on or near the premises and report them to the police. Any threatening or hoax calls should also be reported to the police. They often precede a more serious offence. If possible, it is a good idea to try to involve neighbours who overlook the school grounds. During non-school hours, they may be invaluable in detecting intruders or a fire in its early stages. All school rules relating to smoking and the carrying of cigarette lighters and matches should be strictly enforced to minimize the availability of fire-starting resources. All pupils must be fully aware that any breach will be treated as a serious disciplinary matter. All students must be aware that any horseplay involving firefighting or fire detection equipment such as extinguishers or sprinklers will be subject to disciplinary action. Most local authorities have a range of schemes that can be implemented if a pupil is identified as being a potential fire setter. These initiatives often include visits to the person's home by the fire and rescue service. At the end of the day, it is essential that each school has a robust close-down procedure for all its buildings. This is particularly important in high-risk areas such as kitchens, laboratories and workshops. Close-down checks should include confirming that refuse and waste has been removed from the premises and placed in secure storage. Flammable materials are locked away. Equipment and machinery is switched off, including all non-essential computers and monitors, and valuable equipment is secured. Internal doors, where possible, should be locked to restrict easy access. If parts of the school are being used for out-of-hours activities, access to the rest of the school should be restricted, as long as it does not compromise the means of escape for anyone that may be using the premises. Once the premises are empty, all external doors should be locked, and any non-automatic security measures like lights or alarms switched on. Finally, the perimeter should be secured.